Well, we are back here on Inside the Garage here on WFRV Plus. I am Blake Bortz. Still no Indiana Shills. He has been off all week. Yet again, he's currently recovering from a back issue. So we'll wish him the best in getting better. But the show rolls on here on Inside the Garage, and I mean, it's just disappointing again. I mean, for many fans to watch Tyler Reddick go and win again. He got it done again at Kansas, and I thought he was going to lose it after Cody Ware spun out and whatever you want to call it, kind of caution. That stacked him up for an overtime-esque restart, which you saw Kyle Larson get up there. Denny Hamlin was up there. You saw Christopher Bell almost wreck and then break a toe link that ended the 20s day. And I thought Chase Elliott maybe was going to do it again, but he didn't. It ended up being Tyler Reddick's day yet again at Kansas. And continuing just this dominant day that saw Reddick win the pole for this race. And he only led, get this, 10 laps, but he brought home 71 points. Just an amazing day over him being there, getting that another win there for that 45 camp. Kyle Larson finished in second, Chase Briscoe third, Denny Hamlin fourth, Bo Wallace fifth. I don't know what number race this is that Toyota continues to just place people in the top five. So 4 out of the top 5, all Toyotas. Brad Keselowski, 6th. Good run there after he started in 21st. William Byron gets his rebound day after just a horrid day at Bristol. That means you saw Chase Elliott finish 8th. Ty Gibbs, 9th after getting his first career win. Chris Buescher rounding out your top 10. So a good Kansas race overall that was really predominantly dominated by 2 people, and it's the same 2 people you normally see win these races. Denny Hamlin led 131 laps, and Kyle Larson led 78 laps. I don't know if you saw the viral thing that's going around throughout the garage, and it's of Michael Jordan celebrating, because obviously he's the part team owner of 2311. Denny Hamlin, straight face. Just straight face disappointment from the 11 team. That is just kind of how things are going right there for that 11 team, but a second place, nonetheless, a good day there. Some other notable finishers: Riley Herbst, 14th, Corey Heim, 15th, Todd Gilliland finished in 17th, Austin Dillon, 16th, Alex Bowman finishing in 18th after starting 33rd. Christopher Bell, he also led 47 laps, had the fastest lap in the race, but that broken toe link, like I mentioned, netted him a 20th place position there. Other notable finishers: Ryan Blaney had a horrid day, finishing in 24th. Ross Chastain, 26th. Connor Zilic, 29th. Joey Logano, 30th. We'll talk more about him coming up a little bit later. Good thing Indy is not here to have to listen to me spiel about the bad runs Logano was having. Kyle Busch, 35th. Shane Van Gisbergen finishing in 36th. So, just, it was a good, Kansas was a very good race, just in terms of the way kind of things really navigated throughout the day. You kind of saw different drivers at different times take those opportunities that they had. You just kind of look at stage 1 is really just Toyota. Toyota had a strong hold on the stage 1. Only no Ford finished inside the top 10 in stage 1. 3 Chevys finished in the top 10 in stage 1. It was 7 Toyotas. So Toyota really just has something on this season. Stage 2, you saw Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher make some stage points. You saw Larson really just dominate. Larson winning stage 2, finishing second in stage 1. What more can you say, I guess, about Tyler Reddick being able to just win wherever he so chooses? And now we're going to a track at Talladega where he has won before. I believe it's been 2 years ago now that he's won at Talladega. So the 45, he just won the 500. I think Tyler Reddick is still going to be a threat again. I know many fans, including myself, would like to see someone else get into those shoes of getting into victory lane. But it really just stresses how important it is to win. To win races now has become more and more important. And consistency as well with this chase format. But it's starting to feel like it's 2004, 2005 with the chase format. We're getting into the 2000s with this format. That winning really means a lot in being consistent. In 9 starts this year, Tyler Reddick only has 2 finishes outside the top 10. He has 7 top 10s, 6 top 5s, and 5 wins in 9 starts. That's an over 50% win rate for Tyler Reddick so far to start the year. And we've been to a wide variety of tracks. I mean, when you start off the year winning the first 3, that's remarkable. And then winning again 2 other times to make it 5 here has just been remarkable. And he has a 105-point lead over Denny Hamlin, who, for Denny Hamlin, has 4 top 5s, 2 less top 5s, and 1 less top 10, and has a win, yet he's 105 points back, and Denny Hamlin clears him in dominating races so far this season. That's just what's really incredible for me to see here with these points. Blaney in third in points, he's 120 back. Like, we have this big gap already established that I think obviously will wean, because I don't think it's sustainable what Tyler Reddick is doing and getting these wins. It's not sustainable in my eyes. But just winning just means so much more. And you need to have a good spot here once the points get reseeded. So, you're a guy with 1 win right now. The lowest winner in the points right now is Chase Elliott, but he's in 6th. He lost spots because Kyle Larson had a almost near max points day. But it's just incredible to see big movers in the points, from this past weekend. Brad Keselowski went up 2. Bell, Buescher each dropped 1 spot. Hocevar up a spot. Preece up a spot. Logano down 2. Chase Briscoe is now in after his slow start to start the year. Van Gisbergen lost 2 spots. Suarez is now on the cut line. He's only 13 points ahead of Austin Cindric. Chastain moved a spot. Allmendinger lost a spot. Todd Gilliland up 3. Austin Dillon up to Kyle Busch down to 27th in points. Riley Herbst up to 28th. We'll see if Alex Bowman obviously is sitting there in 43rd, 36th, with 43 points. So consistency heavily rewarded. Other news that we saw this week has just been the beef between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin saying he's rooting for Kyle Busch, hates to see the champion struggle. And then Kyle Busch going back saying, well, if you're so good at your job, come race this car and see if you can put in, do better than what I'm doing. And I don't agree with that. I mean, obviously Kyle knew leaving Joe Gibbs to go to Richard Childress Racing, there was going to be a downfall. Also, when your teammate is no longer Denny Hamlin or Carl Edwards or Matt Kenseth or Martin Truex Jr. Or any of these drivers, to go down to Austin Dillon, there's going to be struggles. So as much as I disliked Kyle Busch growing up, ever since he went to RCR, I've been rooting for him. But there's got to be career uncertainty moving forward now with this 8 team being down in 27th in points. You're just airing out all frustrations, and we're only 9 races into the year. Once we go through Talladega, there's going to be 16 races left until we get to the chase. That's even more remarkable to think that the chase is going to be coming around the corner as we know it. So time is ticking for this 8 team. Kyle Busch is a free agent going into next year. How much do people look at performance of this team as a whole, or do people just say, like Colleague, for example, are we going to get the 3-time champion, or are we going to get who he is right now, and that's running 20th every week? I don't know. I think right now I would say Riley Herbst is the better driver than Kyle Busch. And that's not meant to be a joke. You look at it, Herbst is doing better than what Kyle Busch has done. And Herbst is in significantly better equipment. So in a way, right now they're the more same, just because Kyle Busch is the way better talented driver than Riley Herbst. Herbst is starting to finally unlock that potential that's in that 2311 car. Kyle Busch is in RCR equipment. So we're going to head to our first commercial break of this show. When we come back, I'm going to do a little bit of the NASCAR trivia. Indy gets a sparring of that, but then we're going to talk about Joey Logano and his rough stretch of races he's had here lately. We'll have that much more coming up on Inside the Garage here right after the break. Continuing here on this episode of Inside the Garage here on WFRV Plus, I am Blake Bortz. I have the trivia pulled up, and if you've watched our episodes before, we haven't been able to do this since, I think, like Atlanta. So, and now it's me doing it. I haven't seen the questions. I have the first one up right here. So the first one is, which Talladega race had the most lead changes? Fall 2025, spring 2011, fall 2010, spring 2024. I feel like it's the spring 24 race. That's what I'm going to say. I was wrong. It was a spring 2011 race. Bad on me. How many drivers are in their first career win at Talladega? 9, 10, 12, or 13? I don't know. See, Indy was right to think that I said 10. These are hard. I'm a casual. I'm getting an ad. Here we go. Who has the best average finish at Talladega all time? I'm going to say it's Brad Keselowski. It was Pete Hamilton. How am I to know that? It was between Pete Hamilton, Brad Keselowski, Bobby Isaac, and Dale Earnhardt. How many overtime finishes have happened at Talladega? 20, 21, 25, or 26? I'm going to say 25. It was 20. I should have known. Overtime rules are fairly brand new. I got all of them wrong. Not good. Good news is I won fantasy NASCAR this week. Second one of the year. What was my garage? Let me tell you what my garage was for this past week. I made it on the fly. Kind of seat of my pants kind of moment. We went with, let me go to Kansas. I went with Bubba Wallace, all Toyota. Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, and Denny Hamlin. And I Corey Heim in my bench. Tyler Reddick gave me 71 points. Denny Hamlin gave me 52. I won by like 4 points. I picked Wallace over Gibbs. I picked every single one of the head-to-head matchups correctly. So dominant day yet again. I moved into... Where did I move into? I moved to 6th in our points here. I'm like 94 points back of the lead right now. So I'll take it. If you want to know where Mr. Indiana Shills is, he's 17th. So I don't know. Talladega is going to be an interesting choice for fantasy this week. So I alluded to it, and I want to talk a little bit about it. And it's the performance of... I wouldn't say Team Penske as a whole, because Ryan Blaney does have a win. And we're going to a drafting track, which this team is very well known for doing very well, with Logano, having Brad Keselowski in the past. Austin Cindric has won now at Talladega, and he's won the Daytona 500. But Joey Logano is the one I'm highlighting here right now. Currently 14th in points, and you wouldn't think anything of it. Anything bad of what the choice was, for Joey Logano going, keep continuing on with this season. 9 races, 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s. He has a pole, a DNF, has led 111 laps. That's actually more than Chase Elliott. That 111 is more than Chase Briscoe's led, more than Bubba Wallace, more than William Byron has led, more than Ty Gibbs, who's currently 4th in points. He's almost led nearly as much as Tyler Reddick has, who has, of course, those 5 wins. He has an average start of 13th, phenomenal. Starting 13th, perfect. Average finish, though, of 17th. And I highlighted it with Indy as well when we were doing our season preview episodes, and we got to Joey Logano. His average finish is continuing to fall off and continuing to drop. And that's nothing, that's normal, but I also think you look at someone like Joey Logano, who has been racing in the NASCAR Cup Series since 2009 full time. And we're coming up on almost 20 years of him being in the sport. At some point in time, his finishes, obviously the start to his career, average finish of 20th, 16th, 19th, and 17th, his time at Joe Gibbs Racing through those 4 years. Obviously, he makes the jump to He makes the jump over to Penske, immediately improves that with in 2013 a 14th, 11th, 9th, 10th, 15th bad year in 2017, 2018 10th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 17th in 2024, 15th, 17th. The regression is going to come at some point in time. And I think it's hitting Joey Logano a lot faster than what you would think because he's so young. Because Joey Logano is only in his mid 30s. Like, he's not even approaching close to 40 yet. Logano has a long time still in this sport, in my mind, being that competitive or not competitive. He'll go out the way Rusty Wallace did in, staying with the program until Roger Penske finally says, all right, either you retire with us here or just go make starts the Michael Waltrip way. So you kind of comparing, Joey Logano's never been the consistent dominant driver. I mean, most wins in a year he had was 2015, finished sixth in the points. He had 5 wins in 2014, finished fourth in the points. Had 3 wins in 2018, won the title. Had 4 wins each in 24 and 21, or in 22, excuse me, won the title. And then you look, he's just, I don't know. Joey Logano, from ever since he missed the playoffs in 2017, first, fifth, third, eighth, first, 12th, first, 7th. One bad year in finishing in points, finishing 12th in 2023. But that's with the playoff format. You just really need to be good, get into the dance. You be good at the final 10 races, you're champion, which is what he did 3 times. Now we're back to the chase, which now that alludes me to going back to 2013. That was the first year he was at Penske. Last year, the chase format was still in play. 1 win, 11 top 5s, 19 top 10s, 2 poles. He led 323 laps, average start of 12th, average finish of 14th, finished 8th. That's a similar stat line he's putting up right now. I don't think he'll ever win another title, not in the chase format. No way. That's also heightened by looking back at his season so far to start the year. 3rd in the 500, 18th at Atlanta, 15th at Circuit of the Americas, 31st after starting on pole at Phoenix, wrecking out, 15th at Las Vegas, 33rd at Darlington on pure speed, qualified 29th. 29th. He rebounded with a 3rd at Martinsville and a 7th at Bristol. And then it's another 30th this past week at Kansas. Netting him only 7 points, which has now pushed him to 14th in the chase grid. What's wrong? I don't know. But that just continues to show substantial decline in Joey Logano, netting only those 2 top 10, 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s. So, Joey Logano, obviously disappointing right now to a lot of fans, and I know Indy agrees with me that it's just been disappointing to see 3 30th or worse finishes already to start the year. But he's going to Talladega. He's going to a track where he knows he can win. So I think that helps a lot in trying to fix that morale around and making that better. So that's what really makes me believe that Joey Logano, he'll make the chase. That's no doubt in my mind. There's no way he misses. I don't think there's anyone better than below him. Briscoe's probably better than him. He's better than Suarez. He's better than his teammate Cindric. He's better than Shane Van Gisbergen. Better than McDowell, Chastain, Allmendinger, Zane Todd. He's better than all of them. So unless the wheels absolutely fall off, he'll be fine. I know I want to stay away from just the track house as well throughout all of this. they just had a horrible day. There's at one point in time, all three of them were a lap down. Shane Van Gisbergen was last. Chastain finished 26th. Zilic finished 29th. I don't know. Interesting to see if that program continues to develop or fall off a cliff. All right, when we come back, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll have our picks from me, Nathan Himsel, and Nick Whitwer, as well as our guest picker, and we'll have picks from Indiana Shills. We'll have that coming up after the break. Talladega week always brings just a lot of chaos and uncertainty at times, but I think we've gotten a grasp now with how the drivers are really running the next gen cars of who's going to be good, who's going to be bad, and just being able to avoid the big one that's eventually going to come around and bite a lot of the field. And with the chase format being competitive and maybe relaxing a little bit and making sure you make it to the end of the race is probably a good thing for a lot of drivers. Looking back at last year's spring Talladega race, Austin Cindric, like I mentioned, got it done. He led 7 laps only, but got the win. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Noah Gregson, Chase Elliott were your top 5. So Talladega is always a kind of a roll the dice and see what happens, but I feel like a lot of us have good grasps on who we think is going to get it done at Talladega this week. I'm going to get started with picks from Nathan Himsel. He's taking Kyle Larson in the Cup Series to get his first drafting win in his entire career. So that'll be definitely interesting to see there. And he's going to take Brandon Jones in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. No Truck Series yet again. Or Truck Series, are they racing at Talladega? Let me look at the schedule. No, they are not racing. They'll be racing at Texas in the beginning of May. So next week. So that's who he is taking. Our guest pickers continue to not have any luck. Nick Whitwer of our digital content team picking Kyle Larson, not getting it done. He's going to take Ryan Blaney to get it done at Talladega. Meanwhile, for me and Mr. Indiana Shills, we both come home with goose eggs as Taylor Gray won in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series last week, and Tyler Reddick, of course, winning in the NASCAR Cup Series. So Indy has told me his 2 picks. He's taking Austin Hill. I mean, I don't blame him for taking him. And then I'm taking Brent Cruz in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I just think pick someone that kind of different. This is Brent Cruz's first ever restrictor plate racing ever since he turned of age. So I think he can shock the world there. In the Cup Series, we both went Team Penske. Indy thinks Joey Logano is going to get the backing he needs and is going to get into victory lane in 2026. I think Austin Cindric is going to go back to back. It makes just too much sense to me. I think Austin Cindric will get it done. Well, thank you guys so much for watching Inside the Garage here on WFRV Plus. It is Dega weekend, one of the most exciting weekends in the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. So I hope you enjoy Talladega, and we'll be back to recap it all next week. I'm Blake Bortz. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.